Hey mama, I'm Ashley and this is the Maverick Mompreneur Podcast, where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business in the midst of motherhood. A business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income through SEO, affiliate marketing, and courses while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hello, Ashley here with another episode of the Maverick Mompreneur Podcast. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you have had a great start to your new year and that your business is absolutely crushing it, that your personal life is going along swimmingly, and that if things are not going so well, that there are lots of lessons to be learned that will only help things to be better in the future. Okay, now that we got our Pollyanna out of the way, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today on this episode. Last week, I shared a beginner-friendly how to start your own online business roadmap. Piggybacking off of that, I want to share a roadmap for your first digital product launch. So a little more granular that I got in our 7-step how to start an online business for beginners. So now we're going to go into your first digital product launch roadmap or your next digital product launch roadmap. If you've launched before and it hasn't gone so well, hopefully this will help my experienced product launchers as well. And just as a caveat, you are going to have launches throughout the duration of your business, product launches that will go well, and you will have some that will flop. There's just no way that you're going to knock it out of the park every single time. But the more you can learn about what works and what doesn't work in general, the better. So hopefully this will save you some failures or massive failures because you'll have done these steps in order to ensure that your digital product will sell. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is to validate the idea for your product. You want to make sure that the idea of your offer is something that people actually want. So you want to use market research. You want to look and see what are people commenting and asking on larger accounts, larger influencers and gurus and coaches in your niche. What are people asking them? What is the question or questions on their mind? One easy way to do this is to put a poll up for your own audience. So if you have an audience, ask them questions that will give you an idea of whether or not they want what it is that you're thinking about creating. So, hey, I'm thinking about creating a course on my ad strategy for building a list of buyers. Would you be interested in that topic? And if no one says yes and everyone says no, then obviously they don't want your offer. So you can put up a poll on your IG stories, you can put up a teaser in your Facebook community, or just look and see what they're already asking other people for. You can use something like answerthepublic.com and you can see if the question that you think people are asking is something that in fact is being asked online. But essentially, you want to make sure that you're picking an idea that's a solution for a problem that people are actively trying to solve. If not, they're not going to buy. It's not going to sell. It's not going to be a viable product. All right. So once you validate your idea for this digital product, for this offer, you want to define your offer. Okay. So this is kind of like an outline, but it's a little bit better than an outline. What is it that makes a high converting, a best-selling digital product? It's something that's simple. It solves one clear, hyper-specific problem, and it has a clear transformation. So someone can easily understand the transformation that this product is going to give. So you want to figure out what is that one problem, the transformation that they want, and then the solution that is needed. And that's your product, right? If you can do that. That's a product. I don't care how you put it together. I don't care if it's a digital download or a course, an audio series, but brings a transformation through this solution that you provide. And then you want to make a USP, a unique selling proposition for this product. So what sets it apart? What is different and unique about this product? So rather than social media course or Instagram stories course, the unique selling proposition could be selling in Instagram stories without showing up every day, all day, or having to talk on camera. So something that's unique. So faceless selling in stories. You know what I mean? So something unique about your product. And then you also want to figure out the price. This is a whole huge conversation on, do you start with something low ticket or mid ticket? Do you bundle? I would say if you don't yet have an entry level offer, launch that. So something that could lead to your mid ticket or higher ticket offers, but you want to validate that your front end offer works, because if your front end offer isn't high converting, then it doesn't really matter what's in the rest of your funnel, right? For example, the low ticket toolkit method is the course that I designed to help my students and my members to create a digital toolkit that's an entry level offer that is high value but low cost, that will convert so that people will see what's in the rest of your funnel and they will get your emails and you'll be able to pitch them on your higher level support, higher ticket items. Okay, so define your offer. What's the problem it solves? What's that transformation? How is it unique from anything else? What price point is it at? The third thing you're going to do once you've validated your idea, you've really defined your offer, is to build your pre-launch audience. And so we did talk about this last week in the beginner's guide to starting an online business. You do want to create a lead magnet, whether it's free or paid, that's going to warm up your audience for what you're going to launch. So you really want this to be a slight taste, a valuable taste, a quick win leading towards your offer that you're going to launch. So I would recommend that you create this lead magnet. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode, definitely do that. We go a little bit more in depth on lead magnets, free or paid, but you want to build your list with people who would be interested in what it is that you're going to launch. So you can either create a wait list and build demand around the product and the transformation before the cart opens so that you have a list to sell to, or you can go about building that list with a lead magnet that's free or paid, or you can do both. If you're doing a wait list, I recommend that you start building the wait list 2 to 3 weeks before you launch so that you have plenty of time to promote this wait list or promote your lead magnet as it may be to your email list, your Instagram, Facebook groups, Pinterest, your podcast, wherever you're promoting this. And that's not all you're talking about all day, every day, right? You want to have enough time to get those touches in there, whether it's your stories or your feed or whatever, before you launch, okay? Now, while you're in your pre-launch phase, while you are building your list that you're going to launch to with your wait list or your lead magnet, you're going to create a high converting sales page, okay? So this is not a podcast episode on how to create a high converting sales page, because that's a huge old long episode. So I'm going to try to break it down for you, but you can also use templates like my sales page in a snap, which I don't usually sell that a la carte, but it is an upgrade to the low ticket toolkit method. So if you don't have low ticket toolkit method, it's worth snagging it for $17 to be able to get the upgrade to sales page in a snap, which is my copy, my Kajabi templates, my Google Doc, where I have the exact pages that you need for a high converting sales page for specifically a low ticket digital product. But essentially the components that your sales page needs to have, it needs to have at the top a very clear and benefit driven headline. So the big idea needs to be there right away before someone has to scroll down. The second piece is an emotional connection. So something referencing a pain point. So without having to blah, blah, blah. And the transformation needs to be clear. So what is it that someone wants? What's that transformation that your solution provides? Make sure that is in the sales page. Social proof. So if you don't have students who can provide testimonials or case studies, use your own. So obviously, if you have integrity, you're selling something that you yourself have gotten results with. And so you can share your own case study and your own results as that social proof, but make sure that that is included in your sales page. And then you want to make sure that your pricing is clear and that you have urgency. So true urgency, not made up urgency. crazy. So don't say you have 5 spots if it's really unlimited. Don't put a countdown timer if, really there's no countdown. Things like limited time only. If you do truly intend to either increase the price or something will change. So verbiage like, limited time only, unlock access today, limited time bonus. There's all kinds of ways that you can do this, but make sure that you have urgency driven calls to action throughout your page. Okay. So far your roadmap is you got to validate this digital product idea. Next, once you got that validated, define your offer. Next, step 3, building your pre-launch audience. Very key. Step 4, create your high converting sales page. That is going to do the heavy lifting for you once you launch. Step 5, you're going to plan your launch strategy. And so there's 3 different categories of launching, and you can choose the one that fits best for you, fits best for your business model and the way that you want to do things. And you may try all 3. I know I did. So you may try all 3 and pick one. You may rotate through the 3. You may find one that you love. You may use one and create it to be evergreen, but essentially you can either live launch. So something like launching from a webinar or from a masterclass or from a challenge. That's really good for higher engagement and conversions, specifically for coaching or group programs, things where someone needs to know what it's like to engage with you. You can do a soft launch, I guess, for lack of a better term, to your warm audience. So this is really ideal for your first product to test demand. So something like, if I created a course around how to bake sourdough bread, would you be interested? And then see if people would be interested. It can be that soft, or it can just be a, hey, I'm opening up this membership for small business builders wanting to start a lash extension, lash tech business. Here's the founding member rate. Here's what you get. You have to sign up by this date. Hope to see you inside. Okay. And then if no one signs up, no one signs up. If they do, you have your minimum viable product that they're coming into. Okay. So just a soft launch with maybe a post. And then you could also do an evergreen launch. And so that would be an automated funnel. So something like using your content, whether that be on Instagram, whether that be on a podcast, wherever it is that you're showing up, and then have an automated funnel set up on the back end so that you can have passive long-term sales. And that is my preference, is that every piece of content I create is a sales funnel for my product suite. And so evergreen automated, that's what I have ultimately landed on, because my live masterclasses, challenges, things like that, I want to do for my paying members in the Maverick Society. And I have enough out there that's set up to be evergreen that's how I build my business. And so it's totally up to you. And some of this is just going to come down to trying out what works and what doesn't for you and your audience. With your launch strategy, no matter what, you need to have emails. And so I can't get into all the nuance of emails, but you want to have pre-launch emails that are going to, and this is the same with your content. So I'm going to say your content and your emails, pre-launch content that's going to nurture, educate, build excitement, build FOMO around what you're going to launch. Your kind of open the cart emails and announcement posts on social where you're handling objections, you're highlighting the bonuses and the features, you're introducing your offer, you're sharing your own or others' transformations, why someone would want this, what are the benefits, and then your closing emails, your closing content that are going to use a little bit more of that FOMO and that urgency factor of like, now's the time to make your decision. So you want to have a clear launch strategy. And again, I know I say this every time, but all of this, if you're interested, is included in the curriculum in the Maverick Society Brand Builders Roadmap that we have within our membership, where you can go through the 8 phases of brand and business building, get in where you fit in according to our self-assessment tool, and then build out what you need. So if you don't have pre-launch emails, go in there and get them. I encourage you, if you haven't already, take me up on the gift of the 7 days for $1 and see the benefits for yourself of being a member, having access to all of my courses and resources, being able to ask me questions about anything that you're working on within our curriculum any day of the week, coming on our group coaching calls, participating with the community. I think you'll love it. So I encourage you, if you haven't already, take me up on that 1 week for $1 gift where there's no strings attached. You can cancel if you want, or you can stay and lock in the lowest rate I've ever seen for mastermind level support. All right, step 6, the big daddy, launch and sell. So you're going to announce your offer to the world. I have a couple different formulas for announcement posts, but essentially you're going to announce that this is open, come and get it. what you are going to share on your stories, on your reels, carousel posts. Remember to give and then ask. There's a couple of times when you can go ahead and just straight up pitch, this is what this thing does, here's how you get it. But other than that, you really want to share value, give information, and then tie it back to the ask if someone wants to go further and get the transformation that you're describing. Okay, you want to make sure that you are always, but especially when you're launching and selling, that you're replying to emails, you're replying to comments, you're engaging with people, you are giving people an opportunity to ask questions that they might have about your offer, or you're sharing frequently asked questions within your content and your emails. I recommend, if you are launching, that you launch and sell for at least 2 weeks, if not 3, because you don't want every single thing that you talk about online to be about that offer, but you want to have plenty of touch points and plenty of time to cover all the bases when it comes to speaking to the different types of buyers who are in your audience. And don't give up if no one has purchased in the first, 3-4 days. They haven't taken you up on your early bird bonus or whatever it is. Some people need the full length of time, and not everyone sees your content. So I see a lot of people launch and then they stop like 3 or 4 days in because they haven't made any sales. I cannot tell you how many times the majority of sales have come in when I send out those, FOMO type of emails at the end of a launch. And if I gave up before then, those sales, those customers, those members wouldn't have come into my world. And so don't give up before you finish your launch. And then step 7, do not skip this step. And I know I used to skip this step, and I feel like I would be so much further along, so much faster if I had done what I now do, which is to analyze and optimize what happens during your launch. So after the launch, review your sales, review your email open rates, look at your conversions, what went well, what didn't go so well, get testimonials from your students, from your clients. Make sure that you do this every time. Like, make this your ritual. Analyze and optimize what worked, what didn't work, get rid of what didn't, figure out how to tweak things, and then make sure that once you've launched, that you, if you haven't already, start thinking about how do you increase the lifetime value of your customer. And when we say lifetime value of a customer, yes, for your business, but also the value that goes to your customer from you. What is the next step for them? What's the next thing in their journey that you can bring them along, but staying in your world? And so make sure that you think about that. So is it a membership? Is it a one-on-one offer? Is it another course that's the next step? So you want to make sure that you know how to get them and you know what's that next step for them should they choose to take it. Okay, so turning your customers into recurring purchasers and giving them additional value. So making sure that post-launch, you know what the next step is for you and for them. And then your final step, your next move, may be, if you want step-by-step guidance, my coaching personally, and a community of women who are building profitable brands online, then I would love to invite you to come into my coaching membership, the Maverick Society, where you get weekly coaching, access to my course library, and the proven framework of the Brand Builders Roadmap, which is so chef's kiss good. You may have the Google Dashboard tool, but you'll notice in the tool, there are locked portions, which are my courses. The courses are embedded in the membership, so you get everything. And right now I'm offering that $1 1-week trial so that as many of my audience as would like to can try it out and stay and lock in the super low rate right now before I change the model, as I plan to do in 2025, which will be a year-long program for a higher ticket price. But if you join now and you lock in the monthly rate, you get to stay and experience all of that for that rate, which is really cool. So there's a link in the show notes to check us out and to take me up on that $1 1-week gift and get the roadmap, get the coaching and community support to launch and scale your next digital product with confidence and clarity. And I can't wait to help you out. So anyway, even if your first launch is not perfect, even if your next launch isn't perfect, it's a learning experience. And as long as you take it as a learning experience and use it to refine what it is you're doing and you keep taking action, that's what matters. And I am here to help you inside the Maverick Society. I would love to see you in there. If not, keep listening to the podcast. I will keep sharing all the goods for free here as much as I can with this medium. But until next episode, as always, cheers to your impact. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.